Welcome everyone to the very first episode of this podcast, TLU International Talks. My name is Katarina and I'm a Communication Management Master student here at TLU, and I will also be your host for today's episode. I hope you will enjoy it. I'm sure you've been wondering what we will be talking about here, so let me in you on that. Today I have 3 fellow students here with me who are currently studying at bachelor's level study programs taught in English. They will be opening up a little bit about their experience as international students throughout their study period they've spent at TLU and tell you more about their favorite bits about their course. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Elisa.
Hello.
Elisaveta.
Hey.
And Veronica.
Hi.
Elisa, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Like, for example, the course you're studying and also where do you come from?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Elise and I'm from Finland. I'm studying in the bachelor's program of politics and governance for the 3rd year, and I will graduate next spring in 2022.
And what made you decide to come to study at Tallinn University?
Well, I chose Tallinn University mainly because of the interesting study opportunities and because I wanted to study abroad. Also, Tallinn was rather close to my home at the time, so I was able to travel easily back home to Finland every once in a while, even though I mainly lived in Tallinn.
Cool. So, Elisaveta and Veronica, you are both in the same course, right? What are you studying?
Yeah, we're both 3rd year Crossmedia students.
Sounds cool. Would definitely like to hear more about it. And what about you girls? Where do you come from and what made you choose Tallinn University?
Well, I'm from Ukraine, and honestly speaking, when I was looking for the university, I just wanted to find something abroad, but at the same time not so far from my home. So yeah, Estonia is not so far from Ukraine. Once also some representatives from Estonian universities came to Kyiv and they had presentations about universities. And it was the first time for me when I understood that I wanted to study at Tallinn University. The presentation and representatives were super good. Also, the important thing is that university has Erasmus opportunity.
I'm from Kazakhstan, from Almaty city. I started my bachelor's in finance in my hometown, but throughout the first year I found out it was not actually for me and that I want to study outside from Kazakhstan. My lovely classmate at that time told me about the ad about Tallinn University that she saw on Instagram, and I got super interested in the description of my program, so I just applied.
All right, cool. And what about the other students in your course? Are they also international students? And do you know how many students are there in your course?
Well, our studies are fully in English, and I have classmates basically from all around the world. I don't know the exact number of students in my program because we've had mutual courses with law students and sociology students in the beginning, and not that many meetings or lectures with only the students in my group.
Yeah, in my case, when I came to university, I was only 17 years old. But despite my age, I was able to communicate and have fun with my classmates. We became a good international cross-media team very quickly. And we have Estonians, Finns, and some people from Russia, Brasilia, Poland, Kazakhstan. So yeah, international team.
So we have quite different study programs here. First, so politics and governance, and also cross-media. I'm sure our listeners would like to hear more about what kind of subjects you get to study within these programs. So can you first maybe tell me a bit more about your major, Elisa?
Yeah, well, we have 4 different modules to choose, the 2 majors. They're politics, governance, economics, and international relations. And I'm studying politics and international relations. And my specific interests are in political philosophy, international security, foreign policy, and political history. I'm also interested in the issues related to indigenous people, EU politics, and environmental politics, and they basically form the basis of my upcoming thesis as well. In the module of politics, we have studied very widely different aspects and layers of politics. To mention few examples, we have studied politics in different regions and countries worldwide, different types of political parties, voting behavior, political ideologies, and philosophy. And we have also very broadly focused on the civic society. In international relations, we have studied a lot of history. For example, the formation of states, democracy, and diplomatic relations. And we have also learned about international security issues, great power politics, and pretty widely about different international organizations.
And what about Crossmedia program? How is that built up?
Crossmedia is a good opportunity to understand what it is you truly desire in the context of your future work. Of course, in order to choose Crossmedia, you already have to have a passion for a media sphere. However, media is a huge world and you can be whoever you want. You never understand what you really want without trying it out. So Crossmedia program at Tallinn University covers a lot of media aspects, such as marketing, script writing, technical side, storytelling, entrepreneurship, and even VR and computer games. It helps you to choose your dream work. Undoubtedly and unforgettably, new experience and new knowledge come after every group work. Group work is one of the key skills that you have to achieve during your studies. Crossmedia program is an opportunity to get a lot of new international connections, and you're always motivated by professionals who teach you.
What made you choose your respective study programs, and do you have any recommendations for students who have not chosen their study area yet?
Well, I wanted to study politics and international relations because I just wanted to learn how the current political world has formed and sort of how is it managed. I've always been very interested in history and different cultures, so I thought this could be a good way to deepen my knowledge. And I've got to say that this has been probably the best choice I've ever made. I have studied business administration before, and even though it may sound completely different compared to my current studies, I have actually benefited from them as well. For example, some compulsory studies of economics are similar to what I've studied before, and hence I've been able to transfer my previous studies to my current study program too. I would really like to encourage anyone interested to apply, because if you're yet unsure about what you would like to study exactly, it's possible to change the program yet later on, and of course you can also study courses outside your own study program as elective courses. Personally, I think I've gotten so much more out of these studies here than I would have in my home country, because I've been able to get connected with people from different countries and different cultures, which has taught me a lot. And I've been able to live abroad again on my own, which has been very encouraging. Even though Estonia would be totally unfamiliar to you or quite familiar already, as it was for me, I promise you'll get used to local habits and weather and people and so on. And you'll learn a lot of new aspects you didn't know about Estonia before.
Yeah, as Elizaveta said before, Crossmedia is a really good way to start your media studies. After high school graduation, I knew for sure that I wanted to connect my life to media sphere somehow. But media is really a word with a very wide meaning. You can relate to media being behind the camera or in front of it, doing creative or business stuff. Difficult to choose, and that's why it's worth just to try everything. For people who just in the beginning of their choice, I would recommend one primitive but important thing. Listen to yourself. Your future is just your choice. Start with something that you really like. Maybe it's worth to start with something wide to understand what your real passion is, and then focus on more concrete skills for your masters. If you have the possibility to study abroad, do this. Don't be afraid of trying and going out of your comfort zone.
Well, as I already said, I didn't really know which specific area of media I wanted to study. I liked making photos, but I also liked doing videos, and I also liked social media. So Crossmedia at that time seemed like the middle ground for my struggle. It included so many different aspects of media, and I think that's what a person needs for the bachelor's phase in their life. So you can get deeper to know where you want to proceed to become a professional for the further studies or work.
What are your favorite things about studying at TLU, or maybe even at Tallinn and Estonia in general?
Well, I gotta say that I like the atmosphere in the university in general. I also think that I've gotten so much help and support from the university staff, and my fellow students have been super nice too. The university is in such a good location, and it has been very easy to travel here from home and from the harbor. As a city, I like Tallinn very much because it's small enough, but there's plenty of things to do. And especially, I have to say that I love the restaurants in Tallinn.
Yeah, I'm happy to study with the people I study with and with teachers who are professionals in their field. The most unforgettable moments during my studies are the group works on different projects. My favorite one is when we needed to shoot the video for one course, and all our Crossmedia group became a one production team. We had so much fun together, and it was a really very friendly atmosphere where everyone could help each other and support if it was needed. The important thing to mention is our team gatherings. Sometimes it was even with the head of our program and our study counselor, who really helps and saves us basically every time when we need this. We became one big family for those meetings, and we were laughing, playing, eating. Yeah, it was a good experience, and I see how hard it would be for me to say goodbye to the university in a half a year.
Frankly enough, I really like the scales of the city. Tallinn is not small, but not a big city either. It suits me so well, even though I prefer more sunlight. I also like that there are quite a bit of international students coming. I really like different cultures and learning languages, so I find it a great opportunity for me to know more.
Was there something that you found surprising about coming to study here that you had not expected at first?
Well, I've been positively surprised how easy the life has been in Tallinn overall. I didn't really have a lot of expectations before I came here, and I would suggest to arrive open-minded, because if something comes up, there's always help available, as the university has supported us so well. They provided instructions and help regarding anything from visa issues to actual study-related issues and, yeah, everything in between.
Yeah, I knew that living in another country would be a great life experience, but I really didn't even think that university would teach us not only typical things to know for your future career, but also we learn how to be humans. I can say only about the Crossmedia program, but the studies here is the example of real life situations.
Something that I didn't expect to find in Estonia is so many Russian-speaking people. I was actually pleasantly surprised by that, because when you change the country of living, it's quite challenging in all life aspects, and that there are so many Russian-speaking people helped me quite a lot, I should say.
And what are your schedules like? Maybe you could describe one of your ordinary weeks.
Well, at the beginning, we had lectures around 3 to 4 days a week and plenty of independent work in addition. But still, I have been able to work alongside the school for almost 3 years now. So don't get scared. It's not like school every day from the early morning to midnight. I think the most important thing is to plan yourself a solid schedule to follow. Then it's easier to balance between lectures and independent tasks and possible work. But now that we're studying third year, our schedule is very different actually, because there's more independent work, as many of us are writing our thesis, and there's not that many lectures or seminars anymore. Of course, this depends a lot, because for example, I only have few courses left for the last year, because I've studied some second and third year courses beforehand during my first and second year of studies.
Yeah, I agree with Elisa. It's not really hard to have a work-life balance. It doesn't feel like school. It feels more free. Although like the first 2 years of Crossmedia program, you have basically a full-time schedule. but you have like practical and theoretical classes. But the last year is way more relaxed because you have your thesis, so you have to focus on that.
And what is the favorite part of your study program?
I think the best parts are the amazing teachers we've had and how well this study program has answered to my personal expectations. And if I'm honest, this has been better than I expected.
My favorite part is the combination of theory and practical classes. And yeah, it's really cool when you can just experiment with your gain skills and work with a team on something new and interesting.
I also like how practical our classes are. And even if you have a theoretical class, it's not like a usual lecture where you would write some notes in your notebook, but rather like the information that you get to know in order to use it further on your practical classes. We also have a lot of projects and group works, which I think it's a great experience for your future work and projects. You also get to know people in your field, which is also super useful and helpful.
Maybe also something that would be good to know is that what did you find the most difficult about coming to study at TLU, if there was anything like that at all?
Well, difficult to say because I don't think I've had any specific difficulties. Of course, there's always something, I guess. But perhaps in my case, the most overwhelming thing was traveling between Finland and Estonia because I did it even every week or every other week. But, well, it was my own choice. It was exhausting sometimes, but, well, then came the COVID and I gave up my apartment here and returned to my other home in Finland. And honestly, now I've been just so glad to travel back to Tallinn.
It's not difficult part, but still, be ready to study and communicate a lot. In the beginning, it's just difficult to understand what is happening.
For me, the most difficult thing was getting a visa. It's just a lot of paperwork, time management, and traveling and stress in general. And as Veronica already said, I didn't really understand what was going on in the beginning. It was quite a mess. Luckily, I got to know people who helped me out through that.
Do you think that your course will provide you good work opportunities in the future, whether that would be in Estonia, in your home country, or maybe even elsewhere internationally?
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, our program includes traditional studies and a thesis, but we also have a compulsory internship in our program. And I think we have very broad work opportunities regarding the internship and jobs overall after studies. I'd be interested in working in different ministries or embassies and international organizations, but I would also be interested to see a more grassroots level kind of work, such as working for municipalities or city governments. So, yeah, I think that the work opportunities are very broad and it's possible to work basically anywhere around the world.
I can't say for sure if all my classmates know what they want to become after graduation, because our field is quite broad as well, and our studies offer a great opportunity to work in any sphere you want within the media sphere. But I think that's a great opportunity that that even on TLU website you can find that you can become a media strategist or even like creative director or something related to marketing or anything else like basically in media sphere, or maybe you want to continue your studies. It's also like an option.
Yeah, even with so wide range of things to study, we have an opportunity or more like compulsory opportunity to have an internship. You can choose by yourself what you want to work on, but it should be related somehow to the university program you're studying at. And I think it's a good way how the student can get first work experience and improve communication skills.
In the end, do you think you made a good choice by deciding to study at TLU?
Well, yeah, definitely. I think this has been simply the best choice I've ever made.
Yeah, I would not change anything. I guess I made the best decision for myself 3 years ago.
Yeah, I can surely say it was the right decision. I've met so many cool people, got a lot of new friends, experiences, and opportunities.
Oh, such an inspirational discussion we had today. I have a nostalgia about my bachelor studies after it. Thank you, girls, for such a good conversation. I hope that your last year as bachelor students will be fun, but also productive.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear listeners, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of the podcast with real insights and stories about how your study and life would look like at TLU. Now it is time for you to think and prepare yourself to be part of the TLU family. We would be happy to help you to know even more about the university life and our study programs. If you have any questions or concerns, please write a comment and we will try to help you as soon as possible. Don't forget to visit our website, tlu.ee, and social media such as Instagram and Facebook. If you have any specific questions about concrete study programs, please don't hesitate to contact our study ambassadors who will consult you. You can find their contacts on Tallinn University website, tlu.ee, in Ask Our Students and Alumni section. Thank you for listening. Stay healthy and happy. Bye.